Complicated?
It ain't that much complicated. My name is George Nyakundi. I'm the creative director of VotersBank, a website that is bringing together all Kenyan political players. That's the voters and the political aspirants.
Mm-hmm. Now that I asked you to introduce yourself, Imani, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, Rezian. My name is Imani Manyara, a creative developer and software engineer. Yeah, that's all I can say.
So what do you guys do before we get to VotersBank?
I do a number of things, but to be more precise is I'm a graphic designer, software developer. I do film stuff, animation. I do music sometimes. I'm a rapper, and
I'm a businessman.
Oh, okay, so the common point I know between the two of you is VotersBank. How did you develop I know you're the creative director for VotersBank. How did you develop that idea, or what pushed you to develop VotersBank?
First of all, I could like to tell you that I'm a Kenyan, and I've participated in Kenyan politics by voting. And when I go to vote, I didn't have enough information about the people I was voting for. I didn't have a way of communicating with the same people, but for them, they could come and address me in a public rally, talk to me, and tell me what they're gonna do, but nobody gave me a chance to ask even a single question. The only way I could talk back to them is to boo them, to tell them like, I don't like what you said, and clap for them when I like what they said. I didn't have another way of recourse, so we developed this technology so that we can be able to communicate better, so that the aspirants can understand what the voters want or what they say, and the voters and the aspirants can communicate with the voters in detail. Yeah.
Imani, where did your passion for IT start? Because I know right now you're 21 or 22?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Oh, 21 years young. How did it start, and when did it start? Is it something you started in school, or you just realized you could do A, B, C, D, and E?
No, my passion for IT, computer stuff, started way back 16 years ago when I was like 7 years old. So this was when my dad brought an old compact computer home, and I started doing crazy things. What are
those crazy things? Tell us.
The first thing I did was to write my name in the computer, style it up with different colors, and I was so excited. I was like, hey, Daddy, I want you to come and see I've written my name on the computer. And he was like, okay, go ahead. And then a few months later, I got interested into electronics. I made the first heater. So every time, whenever Dad used to go to work up early, we never had to, go light up the GCO. So we're the first persons I can say to use the heater around our region. Then several years later, when I was in primary, like my final years, I made my first program, my first software. Then that marked now a remarkable change in my life in a number of the innovations that I started doing. When I was in Form 1, in high school, Form 1, my first grade, I made another software. And
Tell us about the softwares.
I've made iClasses. iClasses is a chemical simulation software, just like, which works like a normal lab, a physical lab. I developed this one because I remember when I was in high school, I was a physicist and a chemistry enthusiast. I really loved playing around with the chemicals, mixing sodium and potassium, and seeing those reactions and everything. But it got quite of a challenge, because whenever I wanted to do a number of experiments, some of them I was told they were too reactive to do them. So I thought I need to give this one a try, and I made the software. So after that, I could be able to do any kind of chemical formula, experiments, mix up chemicals. Yeah.
Let me ask you, how did you perform in chemistry when you cleared fourth?
I was a poor performer when it came to my fourth, because when I was towards my final year, I put much emphasis into my IT stuff and forgot about my school.
No, it's because I would expect that after doing all sorts of things, you definitely were like the master when it comes to chemistry, physics, and stuff.
I had a C. I had a C plain in chemistry.
It's good enough for chemistry.
Yeah. The rest I wouldn't say, but yeah. But at the end of it all, a number of the things that I'd made helped those ones who are following
Behind
me,
you.
who are behind me. Because I'm one guy who's like, I don't want to solve something for me, but I want to solve something for those who are behind me. So I do the donkey work for you to be able to be
Have
in
a
a
good
position
time.
to have a good time.
George, I know you're based in the States, and in such countries, the UK, the States, social networking sites are really a huge thing, just like it is here, Facebook, Twitter. And VotersBank is an example of a social networking site where you get to meet your political aspirant, you get to chat with them one-on-one. How do you guys intend to make it popular as these other social networking sites are?
Absolutely. Social networking is the in thing right now. Is the simplest way for people to communicate. It's breaking walls, it's opening spaces. And VotersBank has come in a very timely manner. It's what the difference between VotersBank and these other social networks is like it's customized to the Kenyan politics. Like you go to the other websites, the other social networks, they ain't gonna tell you where your province, your county, your voting, your area of voting, who your constituents are. It don't know that, but VotersBank has been detailed. It understands all those. We have a range of programs to promote this particular program. One of them will use the contemporary media as today. We also will run a program of civic education and voter education. We are going to work closely
Through
with
the
bodies.
website or going out to the fields,
We
like the
will
legwork?
we will do both of those and more. And some of them we will be holding more events. We will be passing through colleges, cyber cafes, and we are also using the contemporary social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. We use everything at our disposal to make it popular. And we are also designing more and more programs that are going, and products that are going to be more appealing to the people, so it's easier to convince them that they need to use it.
Imani, how easy is it to access the, say I go to votersbank.com, I'm presuming, then what are the steps? Is it complicated? Is it like something anyone would log into and get to know exactly what to do once they're there?
You know, no, logging into VotersBank, it's not a big hassle. We have done everything to make sure that the end user doesn't find any difficulty. When you want to access VotersBank, you go to www.votersbank.com, and you'll get a welcome message.
Just hold it up so that we can be able to see.
You'll get similar to this one. It's already available for the iPads, for the smartphones, for the PC, and for the Macs. So you go to VotersBank